Wow. And if you disagree, all the way over there. So agree, disagree. Yeah. Step up, bro. Yes. Agree, disagree. Now, mind you, this is WikiLeaks, not that Andre dude. Yeah, this is interesting. Cool. So we got some. I think we're a bit more spread out on this one, which is cool. So those that disagree, or how about you? You're in the middle here. Megan.
I think I'm on the fence on this one, so I need some convincing. So I need either side to argue.
Yeah, let's argue it. So who would have a point? Ladies. I'm going to move towards all the ladies.
I'm actually towards the middle, and I think that if Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize, that it's absurd that it even exists much longer. So that's my argument.
Okay. Talk to her about Barack Obama. Any other statements here? Right behind me. Ian. Where are you from, Ian?
I'm from here, San Diego. So along that same line, I think that it should probably win some award. I don't know the Nobel Peace Prize is necessarily the correct award. I think that often truth actually inspires violence, unfortunately. Like brutal, honest, like open truth, people find out all the secrets we're keeping about them, and that can sometimes sponsor violence. Now, I think the truth itself is different than WikiLeaks also. I think that we give WikiLeaks potentially a little bit too much credit for being sort of the arbitrator for all things truth. I think I have a problem with the statement, not necessarily the notion of open, unfettered access to truth and transparency. I'm in favor of transparency. WikiLeaks is not necessarily equivalent to that.
You guys have anything to add?
I mean, I think they just stole private data, and if we reward that with Nobel Prize, we're saying there's no private data out there, no privacy, regardless of what the data was or who owned it.
See, I'm actually in favor of no privacy, but it has to come from the people who have that information themselves. I don't think we can force transparency at the end of the day. I think that's going to backfire.
And I think you said it right though. It's not necessarily that they are completely open. It's that they aggregate certain things, and the fact that there's still content out there that they're saying, well, we're going to release this at some point, means that they're not open, that they're not completely open. Either you're completely open or you're on the private side, but I don't see that.
They're leveraging their power. Yeah.
Leveraging power. All right. Megan, how are you doing? How are
Interesting. Very interesting.
Do you feel swayed?
From this guy?
Yeah, let's go over to this side. By the way, again, you can always reposition. I don't see many people moving. Mr. Rand?
Yeah, that's right. I believe that aspects of the WikiLeaks phenomenon are actually very good. Part of what New Media Rights is doing is just kind of realizing and actually working on the fact that this is new territory. This is information that is in the cloud, not necessarily in someone's physical possession. And as a result, there are going to be missteps, and there will also be correct steps that will take time for cultures and societies to determine values relating to that. So I'm all for any sort of controversy that actually brings to the forefront what the possibilities are with new technology, new information sources and sourcing. And as a result, I feel that unfettered is better than guarded at this point, because it's part of the trajectory of learning.
I
I think a democracy needs an informed citizenry, and since WikiLeaks has given the most documents, more than any other like media outlets, secret documents, I mean, it's really important that we know what's going on in the world. Hey, we're paying for this war, we need to know what's actually going on there, and if corporate media is not going to give it to us, then democracy isn't just like a pretty little thing you can put in a box. People are going to fight back. We see what's happening in Egypt. And you can't just do it. You can't just do democracy in a safe way. So if we're not getting the truth, we're going to get it whether it's comfortable for some people or not.
Hear, hear.
Thanks for my Twitch.
All right. All right. Has anyone moved yet? Everyone's still pretty. I think you moved a little bit.
I was in the middle before, but like, I mean, with the whole like with Barack Obama getting a Peace Prize, I mean, I see that argument, but at the same time, you can also kind of say the same thing. If WikiLeaks is down the road, the one that starts the ball rolling in that direction, then yeah, I mean, they gave Obama the prize apparently because he was the one that got the ball rolling, whatever that means, right? So I guess if we're going to use those loose standards, why the hell not, right?
Standards.
I have a quick
Where's the
retort.
HTML5 code?
I have a quick retort.
Quick retort.
Relating to the Nobel Prize. It would probably be best advised to kind of read what the Nobel Prize is actually all about. It's not necessarily always about an accomplishment, but it is oftentimes about an idea. And I think that probably, and I say this on the fence, that I believe Barack Obama was elected in many regards because he was a black person in America, given our cultural history in that arc. So I think that to a certain extent, he was given the prize on the gesture that he is a representative of the American people, not necessarily one human being, and that it was just kind of a world acknowledgement that we have come a long way in a very short period of time, relatively speaking.
Ray.
Are you in the middle? No, I'm way over there. The first casualty of war is the truth. So if you revive the truth, you create peace. Okay? So WikiLeaks is encouraging us to look at the truth. It's our information. By and large, this governmental facts, there's public info. It's owned by us because we own our government. We're supposed to have that information. The CIA and these other, the military-industrial complex, completely out of control right now. Completely out of control. And unless we find out what's going on, we're going to have ongoing resource wars for the rest of eternity. We have to get the word out. WikiLeaks deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, in my opinion.
If you would give a Nobel Prize to Julian Assange for airing out your dirty laundry, would you still be so inclined to do so?
Yes.
Nobel War Prize.
I definitely think that you have to think about who awards the Nobel Peace Prize. From a Nordic Studies perspective, I gotta be honest. The Peace Prize is only what we have created out of it, what other people have created out of it. The foundation, the Alfred Nobel Foundation, they have certain very, very Nordic, very Scandinavian values to assigning it, and just because those values are what picks the Nobel Peace Prize doesn't necessarily dictate the truth of WikiLeaks or the representations of peace. So you have to think about it in a geographical and cultural sense.
Yeah. All right. All right, so we're going to have one more. Mr. Ray, you're so selfish.
No, I'm sorry. Just want to point out that's a very good point, simply because Nobel invented dynamite. What better way to clear your name than to put it to something that is for the good? You can go right on down the line. Cecil Rhodes, the Rhodes Scholarship. He did some really awful things in Africa. You can go with even Andrew Carnegie. He was one of the muckrakers and one of the bad guys as well. So oftentimes when you see the name, it's basically out there to expunge bad deeds done. It doesn't mean that what they're doing now is good, but it does mean that there should definitely be a perspective placed on things we hold as sacred and dear.
Can I add something real quick to that?
All right, one last, and then we're doing one last statement.
Nobel did invent dynamite, but he also realized too that after what he saw what it could do, he also realized that it was so catastrophic he couldn't imagine other people doing it for, killing people or destructive purposes. I mean, it's the same thing with a machine gun too. When they came out with it, they were just like, wow, this is going to kill a lot of people, so hopefully people aren't going to use it. I mean, obviously that's not how the world works, but I just want to add that in there. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.